Hey, welcome back to 2SkeGEEKS. It's your boy Will Call here with you. I'm a boy John. John Michael, he's out of pocket today, but he'll be back with it very soon. Uh, he's had some family graduations to go to, so I want to say congratulations to him and his family members and family friends, and in particular one of our Sans Line brothers. I know John Michael went to Brother Greg's son's graduation this past Friday. So shout outs to our line brother's son. Uh, Congratulations on your graduation from high school, and I know you're on your way to North Carolina A&T. We are extremely proud of you, young man. Uh, Go and kick butt, yeah. And you carry the torch from where we left off, and I'm glad to see you move forward into adulthood. So, without further ado, I want to get started. But next thing I want to do is to say thank you all for tuning in. I'm very grateful for you. Please hit your like and subscribe buttons, and let's get busy. So, we want to talk about first books that are correlating to the entertainment side of comic books, as in mass entertainment, as in movies and TV. And so, going back to a few weeks ago, there are other books that we have related to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And so, right out of the box for Doctor Strange, from the very first scene, you have this character here, female, again, America Chavez. And we've talked about her in the past. But this book here, Young Avengers, it is number 14 and 15. Young Avengers, number 14 and 15, where these books here, in particular, this book here is the origin of America Chavez. And this is just be another this book here is just a continuation. But this here is one of the first origin stories of America Chavez in Young Avengers 14. And as you can see her here on the cover, right next to, I'm not sure what character that is she's next to. But regardless of, I have to look that up. But, we got a bunch of other folks in there related. And also, you got one of Scarlet Witch's sons here with the cape on. And so, in that movie of what you saw, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, you'll see her sons, one of her sons grows up to become, or becomes a young adult in the Young Avengers. And so, speaking of Scarlet Witch, now this book is not necessarily particularly related to the Multiverse of Madness. However, it is related to Wanda's mind state. And much like it's fragmented here, as fragmented depiction of Wanda's mind state. And this House of M book here first of all, it's a beautiful cover. It's an amazing cover, a very unique cover. But it also speaks to there have been many stories where Wanda's mind has caused a great deal of havoc across the Marvel universe. And so I think it's just a great cover to have. It's also a pricey cover to have now. This House of M #1. This is a variant cover of Wanda. This is not the first cover. This is a B cover, and it's a variant cover, and it's a little pricey now, but fortunate to have it. And again, speaking to Wanda's mind state. And this book here, Captain America and the Mighty Avengers, number 9. So this book here, you're like, oh, what does this have to do with Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness? Well, it's related to it because of the fact this is the first cover depiction of a multiversal or two multiverses doing an incursion. So you're having a first depiction of a multiverse incursion here on this Captain America and the Mighty Avengers number 9. So, with the ironic sign, sorry we're closed, because of the fact that both multiverses are closed permanently upon this incursion. And so, it's just a cool cover that I really enjoy, with showing how the total destruction of the multiverse, or two multiverses, collapsing upon each other, which is what that movie pretty much was about, regarding the colliding of multiverses being a possibility. And so, going on to the next few books that I want to show. Now, these books are related to the Captain Marvel that you saw. The Captain Marvel that you saw was the mother, Rambo, who was in the original Captain Marvel movie. But I'm going to show pictures. Show books of her daughter. So this is her daughter. This is the first appearance of her daughter, Monica, who was also in WandaVision. And so this was Amazing Spider-Man number 16, the first appearance of the first really black Captain Marvel. This was the first appearance of her, and actually her name was at this time Captain Marvel. And so this is Monica in her first depiction as Captain Marvel. And then we have this book here, when she got her own series in this giant size special of, again, as I said, she was called Captain Marvel at that time. And so this was her first little solo story and solo series. And I'm very proud to have this one. Actually, I have two of them. And so, yeah. And she was also a part, of course, of the Avengers, their Avengers books. And I can't off the top of my head. And those who are watching this watching this show, and in your comments, please feel free to remind me the issues that she first shows up in the Avengers. But I'm gonna. How about this? I'll say for this, one of the first appearances of her in the Avengers was in this book, and it's not really it's kind of like a not in the numbers or the sequencing of. It's kind of like a solo-ish side story of the Avengers, but this is one of her first appearances in the Avengers book, but not in the the word won't come to me. But anyway, so far as the numbered long series sequence of the Avengers, this is not it. This is like a side story, but yet still closely related and still Avengers canon, where she is a part of the Avengers, or in the Avengers. And then another solo book of Captain Marvel. And then later on, she becomes Photon. And so that is her current name, would be Photon now. All right. So I'm going to move forward, still sticking with movies, TV, and Marvel. And so we just saw a trailer that just popped out a few days ago, I think it was Thursday or Friday, with this book here, closely related to the trailer, SheHulk number 1. And this is a newsstand edition. As you can tell with the newsstand, you have the barcode that is here, as opposed to, let's see here, where do I have something? Oh, yeah. Direct edition, or a book that comes out, a book that was sold in your comic book stores, usually has like some kind of a picture like Spider-Man's face. So this is a direct edition here, but this is a newsstand edition here. And you can tell again by the barcode. And so the barcode in the newsstand editions tend to be more valuable than those that have the direct editions, or those that went to the those that went directly to the comic book stores, because of the fact that typically what happens with newsstand editions being in like 7-Elevens or some other convenience stores, they were, kids would thumb through the books and bend them or whatever they'd be, they're less care of those books. And so, although during this time when this book came out, the newsstand editions were probably more numerous. You probably had more books in convenience stores than those going to comic book stores. But the care of them, and then also convenience stores were made to like damage the book or whatever. Whatever they couldn't sell, they were supposed to damage or tear the cover off or put a black mark through or whatever the case may be. So these newsstand edition books became more and more rare over time, and so this is a beautiful copy that is rare and in great shape, and I'm looking forward to getting this one graded. And so staying in the SheHulk family, this book here, Incredible Hulk, number 282, is the first tag team or the combined appearance of the Incredible Hulk and SheHulk together, fighting whomever they're fighting in this book. I bought this book to have it because of the fact that it is the first appearance of the two of them tag teaming in a series. And so I'm very proud to have this one too. There's another one that's got to get graded. Alrighty. I'm going to skip over I was going to do some Star Wars books today, but I don't want to do them just yet. I'm going to skip over Star Wars today for now. A very brief moment, because I want this show also to be a little more brief than usual. So what I will go over is going to cross franchises and going to DC. So I was going through my boxes down in the archives today, and I was going through some boxes that I bought from someone's collection back in Texas, back in around 2016 or 17, something like that. And didn't really pay too much attention to some of these older books that I found. They just didn't mean so much at the time. But I went through them today with a more scrupulous eye, knowing, of course, the market changes with time. And so, sadly, this is not a first appearance. I wish it was. But Peacemaker, number 4, from Charlton Comics. This book was a gem that happened to be in that box of books the books that I bought from that dude, from a good dude down in Texas. And yeah, I had a gem in there. I had no idea that this gem was there. And at the time, even though I'd probably seen it, it doesn't mean what it means now, because John Cena in Suicide Squad and his own individual show, Peacemaker, are rocking. That show is excellent, and the Suicide Squad, the second Suicide Squad movie, not the first one, with John Cena, was amazing. And so I don't know how valuable this book is, being a number 4, but from a book from 1960, I'm not even quite sure. I'd have to look to see what year this is. It's a 12-cent book, but I don't even want to take it out right now. I'll put it in the comments later on, and I'll put it in the description later on as to what year this came out. But of course, I know it's in the 60s because you got this old Charlton label here on it, and this is definitely from a 60s type label from Charlton. And the paper was cheap back in the day. I mean, it was almost just barely above newspaper. And so there's some small chipping down at the bottom of it here that you can very well see. But for the most part, a book that was sitting in his garage, and I'm not sure how long, and it wasn't even bagged and boarded. So, yeah, got a gem. Alrighty, next thing would be I'm going to cover is favorite covers. How about that? And so I was looking at Key Collector's top 10 list today. And Key Collector is an app that you can and should download on your phone that will tell you all the latest comic book info, things that you should buy, spec on, possibly spec on. You know, it's an amazing app, and it can also be used to track your collection as well. You can, when you have a book as you're going through for whatever list, it could be a top 10 list, it could be a Star Wars list, it could be a Batman list, whatever the case may be. Whatever books that you have, you can actually add once you buy your subscription to it. And it's a pretty minimal, it's a pretty affordable app. You can say, that you own this particular book, and you can also say, the grade of the book, if it's if you've gotten it graded or if it's raw. You can go into as much detail to it as you choose. But for hot covers, this was on the top 10 list, and I'm really surprised that this book is not worth more than what it is. It's getting there, but for such an iconic cover, Incredible Hulk. This iconic Todd McFarlane cover of Hulk 340 is still just a classic. Always Hulk and Wolverine squaring against each other, and this looks like a square off is about to happen because you see Hulk in the claws, and Wolverine nor Hulk look too happy. And of course, they've been squaring off since the very first time Wolverine appeared in Hulk 180 and 181, which I just sold my books of 180 and 181 this week. Made a nice, sizable, tidy sum. So I'm very proud of my collection, bringing back some money and taking care of the hobby. But this book here, got to get this one graded because it is an iconic cover. Sadly, it's not a newsstand. It is a direct edition. As you can see, the Spidey emblem down in the bottom corner, but it's still in great shape, and I'm proud to have this one as well. Okay, staying with favorite covers. Yeah, this is awesome. This doggone Alex Ross. Alex Ross smashes this cover. Now, this is a black and white sketch cover. There is a colored variant, colored version of them with all of them being in color. But I love this one because the sketch, the way the Hulk is depicted, the detail in the Hulk is just amazing, and all the other characters in it. I love this cover here, and this is regarding this book. The story is mainly about the historical or prehistorical legacy of Marvel superheroes, where they take it back to even prehistoric times with the gods, even like the Panther God or the Asgardian God with Odin or the Ghost Rider God, or whatever the case may be, the spirits and the gods that have been around in the Marvel Universe, but in prehistorical reference time. This is a great read as well, putting more of a prehistorical context to the heroes that we associate with now, but putting them way back like they've been around for forever, as long as humankind has existed. So, next one. Another great cover, and I'm going to pull out two of them. So Milestone is back, and if you're not familiar with Milestone was a comic book company started by Dwayne McDuffie, Dennis Cowan, Christopher Priest, tons of other dudes, and I can't think of all the other folks that were involved, all the different persons involved, but. One of the books that I'm talking about that I'm going to pull up is called Blood Syndicate. And so this is a re-release. This is one of the newer re-releases of Blood Syndicate that just came out a few weeks ago. And so this is Milestone. Milestone has been re-released by DC as well. And this is the Blood Syndicate #1. This book here is more reminiscent to the very first Blood Syndicate cover, but I had to have this one right here. This cover is just sick. So, love that cover, and I don't want to give credit to whom it is to, just off the top of my head, but the details in this cover are just amazing. Even look at the details in the hair. That's just ridiculous. Anyway, alrighty. And so my last topic that I'm going to cover is great writers. Thank you, Ron, again, the producer who helped turn me on to this writer. That I bought all these books, but I didn't know who the name was until he told me how great this writer is, and I do mean I bought all the comic books that she has written, but I didn't know who she was until he told me, "Hey, have you read those books by N.K. Jemisin?" N.K. Jemisin is writing on a Green Lantern book called Far Sector. And let me tell you, I read issue number 9. I have to go back and dig out all 1 through 9 of this Far Sector book. But this book, N.K. Jemisin, the writer, and Jamal Campbell is the artist, and Jamal does an incredible job of the artwork in this book as well. But N.K., I didn't know what I didn't know. Thank you, Ron, for turning me on, but she is incredible. Her scientific concepts and stretching what we think of what is normal to way beyond what is normal, and yet making it down to earth enough for you to understand it. But it will stretch you. You got to stretch your mind when you're looking at the stuff that she puts into this book. But this character, the female character, and I cannot remember the name of her name off the top of my head right now, but she's more like a Green Lantern detective. Does a lot, and she prides herself in solving mysteries. And it's just a doggone good read. And I read it about 3 weeks ago, so that's why I'm faulty on the name of the character off the top of my head. And please forgive me. Please leave that in the comments as well. I'm not afraid to take critique. And it also will help the community of those who are viewing, if you can remember. And I will also put it into, once I edit this book, I'll put the name of the character into it. But if you beat me to it or whatever you want to, you can put it in the comments. But we'll get there together. So anyway, that is today's show. I want to thank you guys again for being with us. My brother John Michael, I look forward to doing the next show with you. Brother Ron, again, thank you for all that you've done for us in our show. And you, the viewers, you are amazing. Thank you for your comments. Oh, I do have one more thing. Since DCBS, from whom I order books from, they sent me some extra books, just a ton of them. And so leave comments in the book, and leave comments today. Leave comments when you read this video. Those who can email us, the email is 2SkeGEEKS at 2SkeGEEKS at gmail.com. And if you email us and leave a comment, I'll send you with your address. You also have to send you your address as well, but we will send you this Sweet Paprika number 9 because they gave me like 9 copies of this book. So do me a favor, send us your comments, what you think, and I'll send you a copy of the Sweet Paprika number 9 free, and we'll be glad to hear from you and what you think of our show. And take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and stay 2ski geeked up about this hobby. And I'll holler at you later.